everyone, it's Holly Marie King, and we are back with the Hunger Games. This is the Nanny edition. Because you know what? I grew up watching the Nanny. Freaking loved the Nanny. The unfortunate thing is, it was really freaking hard to find pictures for characters. There were some characters I wanted to use, and I couldn't find a picture at all. So, I made do with what I could find. So, some of them do not have single characters in them, unfortunately. But I did what I could. I did my best. If you guys want to do better, then be my guest. But I will go ahead and get started. Let's do this. Because I was actually really excited about this, even if it's kind of frustrating. It didn't work the way that I wanted it to. But hey, you know what? That's life. Not everything works out perfect, right? Alright, so in District 1, we have Ran Fine and Maxwell Sheffield. I call him Mr. Sheffield because most of the time people call him Mr. Sheffield unless they're family, which then they call him Maxwell or Dad. So there you go. In District 2, I have Niles and Cece Babcock. In District 3, I have Maggie and Grace. I know she normally gets called Gracie, but I've decided to just call her Grace. In District 4, we have Brighton and Val. In District 5, we have Sylvia Fine and Yetta. In District 6, we have Chester and Uncle Stanley. Which I said, they have multiple people. There's Chester, the dog, and Uncle Stanley being the lawyer. In District 7, we have Frida and Nigel. That was the best picture I could find of Nigel. In District 8, we have Sammy, which is Yetta's love interest. And Michael, which I'm not 100% sure because the last 2 seasons I didn't really see that much. So Michael, I think, is Maggie's husband in like the future episode, this season 7 or 8. I don't know for sure. So that's when I'm the only one I'm not 100% sure about. In District 9, we have Fred the pharmacist and Uncle Jeff, which is Marsha's dad, if no one knows who that is. In District 10, we have Jocelyn Sheffield, which is Nigel and Maxwell's sister, and Danny Imperiali. I almost forgot about him, and then I was like, oh yes, perfect. We gotta have Danny Imperiali. And in District 11, we have Marsha. She's that green blue person all the way in the back of that picture because that was the only picture I could find of Marsha that I could freaking use. And Marsha is the annoying cousin that seems to be better than Fran because they're in competition with Uncle Jeff and Sylvia. They're constantly in competition. So I had to have Marsha and Eddie, but of course I had to add Eddie because he is, oh my god, you guys are all gonna kill me because I can't remember the name of the actor. Eddie, oh good lord. James Marsden. Eddie is James Marsden. I want to wrap up, but Eddie is James Marsden, so I had to use him. I can't remember the name Enchanted. I was gonna try to find him through Enchanted because he's the main character, one of the characters. I thought Isla was in Enchanted, but it's not. It's Amy Adams. Sorry. Apologize for my crazy conundrum there. And then I used Grandma Nettie, which is Fran's dad's mom. And then Clara, I could not get a picture of her actual person, so I just used the actress's face. Okay? Which is Maxwell Sheffield's previous nanny. I know, this is just a crazy introduction of this whole thing, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun. I'm throwing sticky notes. Okay, the bloodbath. Of this tribute stand on their podium. The horn sounds. Frida runs away from the cornucopia. Uncle Stanley, Nigel, and Marsha work together to get as many supplies as possible, of course. Mr. Sheffield runs away from the cornucopia. Maggie grabs a shield leaning on the cornucopia. Yetta runs away from the cornucopia. I want to see how Yetta does. Honestly, Brian runs away from the cornucopia. Sammy runs away from the cornucopia. Niles takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Chester breaks Clara's nose for a basket of bread. So the Pomeranian breaks the nanny's nose. Val runs away from the cornucopia. Grace runs away from the cornucopia. Jocelyn clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Cece Babcock runs away from the cornucopia. Michael grabs a sword. Uncle Jeff severely injures Fred the pharmacist and leaves him to die. Sorry, Fred, but you're not really that important of a character, so it's okay. Eddie, Danny, and Sylvia get into a fight. Danny Imperiale triumphantly kills them both. Nah. Lies. Sylvia Fine. This was real. Sylvia Fine would have won that. Hands down. Damn it, Danny. Fran runs away from the cornucopia. Grandma Nettie runs away from the cornucopia. Day 1. Fran receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Brighton explores the arena. Grace scares Cece Babcock off. I mean, Cece does not like children, so, that's not far from it. Sammy steals from Grandma Nettie while she isn't looking. Uncle Jeff, Danny, Clara, and Chester hunt for other tributes. Marcia attempts to climb a tree but falls to her death. Yay! Marcia died. Look at that, Fran. Everything's golden. Yetta explores the arena. Uncle Stanley explores the arena. Michael makes a slingshot. Niles injures himself. Oh no, Niles. Don't die, Niles. Nigel tries to sleep through the entire day. Mr. Sheffield constructs a shack. Val begs for Maggie to kill her. She refuses, keeping Val alive. Frida kills Jocelyn with a sickle. Wow. Aunt Frida. She's going after them siblings. Fallen Tributes 1. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Fred, the pharmacist. District 9. Eddie. District 11. Sylvia Fine. District 5. Marsha. How to say it once. District 11. And Jocelyn. District 10. Jocelyn Sheffield. Night 1. Grace dies of dysentery. Oh my god, Grace. Well, I mean, she's rich. She doesn't know how to live life otherwise. Uncle Jeff attempts to start a fire, but unsuccessful. Danny and Uncle Stanley on the Niles thinks about home. Fran, Frida, Chester, Cece Babcock, and Grandma Nettie sleep in shifts. Oh, wow. What a team. Mr. Sheffield kills Yetta while she's sleeping. Max, you're killing your wife's grandma. How could you? Clara, Nigel, Val, Michael, and Maggie sleep in shifts. Sammy stays awake all night. Brighton cooks himself his food before putting his fire out. The youngest Sheffield has died. Sheffields are fallen. Michael, Danny, Grandma Nettie, Chester, and Brighton hunt for other tributes. Frida makes a slingshot. Nigel travels to higher ground. Niles receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Whew, you can heal those wounds. Uncle Stanley camouflages himself in the bushes. Clara, Val, and Mr. Sheffield unsuccessfully ambush Cece Babcock, Fran, and Uncle Jeff, who killed him instead. Oh, Fran had to kill her best friend and her husband. Wow. Maggie questions her sanity. I would too, Maggie. This is not your type of thing. Sammy receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. All this craziness is happening. Sammy's like, I'm just chilling, having my best life. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Grace, District 3. Yetta, District 5. Clara, District 12. Val, District 4. And Mr. Sheffield, District 1. Night 2. Grandma Nettie destroys Chester's supplies while he is asleep. Well, how rude. He's just a little Pomeranian. So mean. Nigel, Frida, Niles, and Michael sleep in shifts. Danny and Sammy work together to drown Cece Babcock. Wow, Danny had better not win this. Ugh. Fran sets up camp for the night. Uncle Stanley looks at the night sky. Uncle Jeff and Brighton tell stories about themselves to each other. Maggie thinks about home. I was like, did I read Niles? I don't remember. He can't die. Day 3, Uncle Jeff receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Nigel and Brighton hunt for other tributes. Sammy chases Grandma Nettie. Danny explores the arena. Frida begs for Niles to kill her. He refuses, keeping Frida alive. Chester receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Michael receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Uncle Stanley makes a wooden spear. Maggie discovers a river. Fran receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. I got tongue-tied with the fresh food. 1 cannon shot! Cece Babcock, you are the only one that died. I can't believe they drowned you. That's hilarious. Night 3, Chester tends to Sammy's wounds. Uncle Stanley, Uncle Jeff, Frida, and Niles sleep in shifts. Maggie thinks about winning. Danny and Nigel tell stories about themselves to each other. You have stuff to talk about. Fran, you might want to look out. Your exes are talking. Fran tries to sing herself to sleep. Brighton and Michael run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Yeah, well, good job, brother-in-laws. Grandma Nettie is awoken by nightmares. Day 4, Maggie travels to higher ground. Grandma Nettie tries to sleep through the entire day. Uncle Jeff thinks about home. Danny tries to spear fish with a trident. Chester goes hunting. Fran begs for Nigel to kill her. He refuses, keeping Fran alive. Aw, you wanted to die because you killed your husband and his brother. Sammy receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Uncle Stanley tries to sleep through the entire day. Niles makes a wooden spear. Michael discovers a river. Brighton stalks Frida. Get it, Brighton. Nobody died. Nobody. Night 4. Danny tries to treat his infection. Uncle Jeff is awoken by nightmares. Fran and Niles talk about the tribute still alive. This duo is the thing that makes the most sense. They're besties. Frida receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Maggie dies from thirst. So her sister died from dysentery. So she's like, no, I'm not drinking any water. My sister died from drinking the water. And then she died because she didn't drink anything. Way to go, Maggie. Uncle Stanley, Chester, Sammy, Michael, and Grandma Nettie sleep in shifts. Brighton receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. And Nigel goes to sleep. I was just like, I'm asleep. Day 5. Fran, Frida, and Grandma Nettie hunt for other tributes. Uncle Jeff, Sammy, Brighton, Uncle Stanley hunt for other tributes. Danny, Chester, Niles, and Nigel hunt for other tributes. And Michael unknowingly eats toxic berries. Everyone's just like, we're hunting for everyone else. And then he's just like, oh, ate the wrong thing. Way to go. Did I hit it? I didn't hit it. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. The married couple died same day. Maggie, District 3, and Michael, District 8. Night 5. Chester stabs Uncle Jeff in the back with the trident. Well, I didn't want him to win anyway. Niles, Fran, and Grandma Nettie cheerfully sing songs together. Uncle Stanley spears Sammy in the abdomen. Aww, Sammy! I like Sammy. He's cool. I don't know if any of you ever seen The Nanny, but Sammy was cool. I liked Sammy. Brighton is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. You're one of the only 2 Sheffields still alive, Brighton. You got this. Hold strong. Danny tries to sing himself to sleep. Nigel spears Frida in the abdomen. He's just like, no, we need to even it out. There's too many fines and not enough Sheffields. I need to die. Oh no, the cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tributes' families. Grandma Nettie, Uncle Stanley, Chester, and Danny team up to grab food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs. Okay. Niles tracks down and kills Brighton. I'm sure that was thrilling for him. Nigel decides not to go to the feast, and Fran accidentally steps on the landmine. The main character has died, guys. Fran is down! Oh no. Day 6, Chester dies from hunger. Aww. Danny practices his archery. Niles chases Nigel. Grandma Nettie injures herself. And Uncle Stanley receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Oh my god, there's so many people dead already. Fallen Tribute 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Uncle Jeff, District 9. Sammy, District 8. Frida, District 7. Brighton, District 4. Fran, District 1. And Chester, District 6. Sorry for the Chester lovers, guys. He had to die. Night 6. Niles loses sight of where he is, but you're still alive, so that's all I care about. Nigel receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Uncle Stanley screams for help. Grandma Nettie convinces Danny to go with her. The grandparents' name. Day 7. Grandma Nettie searches for firewood. Uncle Stanley tries to spear fish with a trident. Nigel tries to spear fish with a trident. Danny receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor, and Niles receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Yay, food. Nobody died for tributes for the 7th tribute for fallen tributes. Night 7. Uncle Stanley and Nigel talk about the tribute still alive. Niles repeatedly stabs Danny to death. Yes, go Niles. Got him. Get out of here, Danny. No one wants you here. Okay, now it's anyone's game. Grandma Nettie thinks about home. I hate Danny. He's such a scumbag. Day 8. Grandma Nettie sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Nigel goes hunting. Niles makes a wooden spear, and Uncle Stanley receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Fallen tributes! 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Danny Imperiali has died. Thank God. I was so worried he was going to win. He didn't die. Night 6. Niles fends Uncle Stanley, Grandma Nettie, and Nigel away from his fire. Come on, Niles. You got this. Day 9. Niles attacks Grandma Nettie and Nigel protects her, killing Niles. No! See? Every time. See? I made it evident who I wanted to win. And look at that. They killed him. How dare they? Uncle Stanley thinks about home. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Niles, District 2. My favorite character in the entire series. Niles is the best. Grandma Nettie throws a knife into Uncle Stanley's chest, and Nigel unknowingly eats toxic berries. Grandma Nettie is the winner. Wow, that pink crazed old lady is the winner. Well, I mean, it takes a crazy person to win freaking Hunger Games, so I guess that makes sense. There you are. Sorry, I was looking for my notebook. We are now in District 8 for the notebook. 4 districts left to fill in. Look at that. We're getting to the finale. Okay. Proceed.
Who killed the most people? Nigel, Danny, Uncle Jeff. Oh my God, Uncle Jeff is evil. We all knew it. We all called it. They all knew he was evil to begin with. Anyway, that is the end of the Hunger Games, the nanny version. If you like this, please leave a like. If you know someone who will like this, please share it. If you want more of this content, I upload the Hunger Games. I want to say every Wednesday. It might be every other Wednesday. We'll see what happens. But it will be up on a Wednesday. So the new ones will come out on some Wednesday sometime. So stay tuned. If you hated it, well, I don't know why you're still here. I don't care. You want to stay, you want to go, it's up to you. But if you don't like it, why are you torturing yourself, really? I don't know why. But anyway, hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye.